everyone. Today we're going to illustrate the different properties of operations on the set of integers. We're going to discuss properties of operations on the set of integers. So let's start with the closure property. If A is an element of I, so we read this as is an element of. Okay. So, if A is an element of I and B is an element of I, then the quantity of A plus B and AB is an element of I. Let us have an example. In the set of integers which is denoted by I, so we have here positive and negative numbers, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So, if -3 is an element of I, okay, so here, and 1 is an element of I, of course, -3 plus 1 equals to -2 is also an element of I. So, it's an element, -2 is an element of I. Okay. And then, we're going to multiply -3 times 1. This is equal to -3. And -3 is also an element of I. Okay. Next, for the commutative property, if A is an element of I and B is an element of I, then A plus B is equal to B plus A. Okay? And AB is equal to BA. Okay, so let us have an example. Let's say we have -5 plus -10. So this is equal to this one, -10 plus -5. Then another example, let's say we have 25, positive 25 times -2. This is equal to -2 first times positive 25. So this is how we illustrate commutative property. Okay? You will just change its position. So we have -5 plus -10. This is equal to -10 plus -5. Next, for the associative property, if A, B, and C are elements of I, then the quantity of A plus B plus C is equal to A plus the quantity of B plus C. And also, the quantity of AB times C is equal to A times the quantity of BC. Let us have an example. Let's say we have letter A, we have 11 plus 3, the quantity of 11 plus 3 plus 20. So, you will just copy all of this. Only that, you will just place the parentheses on 3 and then 20. So, we have 11 plus, open parentheses, 3 plus 20. Okay? So, you will just regroup. Another example is that if we're going to multiply A, B, and C. Let's say we have 15 times 10 and then times 2. So we will just enclose this in a bracket and then times 2. Then equals to, again, you're going to multiply all. We have 15 times 10 and then times 2. Only that, you're going to write here the bracket. So this is how we illustrate the associative property. Okay? Next, how about the distributive property? If A, B, and then C are elements of I, then A times the quantity of BC is equal to AB plus AC. So, you will just multiply A times B, we have AB. A times C, we have AC. And also, if we have A times the quantity of B minus C, so you will just multiply A times B, that is AB. A times negative C, we have negative AC. Okay. So this is the first rule, and then we have here the second rule. Okay. So, let us have an example. Let's say we have 5 times the quantity of 3 plus 8. So, sometimes it is okay not to write here the dot. Okay? So, you can write that or no need to write. Okay, it's up to you. Okay? Then, this is now equal to 5 times 3. We have 5 times 3. And then, plus, since that the operation is addition, so we have plus, then 5 times 8. Okay? Next, another example. Let's say we have 15 times 6 minus 2. Okay. So, we're going to multiply 15 times 6, then minus 15 times 2. Another example, let's say we have 100 times 7 plus y. Okay, so using the distributive property, this is equal to 100 times 7, then plus 100 times y. Okay, so this is how we illustrate distributive property. Okay, next is the identity property. If A is an element of I, then A plus 0 is equal to A. So 0 here is the additive identity. Okay. And A times 1 is equal to A. So 1 here is the multiplicative identity. Okay, of course, if you're going to add 0, the answer is the number itself. And then here, if you're going to multiply 1, the answer is the number itself. Let us have an example. Let's say we have 16 plus 0. So, of course, the answer is 16. Another example, let's say we have 0 plus negative 5. So, the answer is negative 5. So, this is what we call the identity property of addition. The next, for letter C, let's say we have 25 times 1. This is equal to 25. And then, negative 30 times 1. This is equal to negative 30. So, we call this as the identity property of multiplication. Okay. So that illustrates identity property. Next, last property is the inverse property of addition. If A is an element of I, then A plus negative A is equal to 0. So, Let us have an example. Let's say we have 20 plus negative 20. This is equal to 0. Another example, let's say we have negative 100 plus 100. Of course, this is equal to 0. So that is the inverse property of addition. Okay? Let's have an example. Which property of integers justifies each statement? So, number 1, we have negative 60 plus 0 equals to negative 60. So, it illustrates identity property because if A is an element of I, then A plus 0 is equal to A. So, this illustrates identity property. Next, number 2. So, we have 5 times the quantity x minus y. This is equal to 5x minus 5 times y. So, this is distributive property, right? Distributive property using the concept or property A times B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. So, this is distributive property. Next, number 3. So, we have 1 times negative 225 is equal to negative 225. So, this illustrates identity property that A times 1 is equal to A. So, that is identity property. Next, number 4. Number 4, we have negative 10 plus 15 is equal to 15 plus negative 10. So, this number 4 illustrates commutative property that A plus B is equal to B plus A, right? So, number 4, we have commutative property. The next, number 5, we have 20 times 1 is equal to 20. So, number 5, it is an identity property because if you have A times 1, this is equal to A. So, again, this is identity property. Next, number 6. Number 6, we have 4 times 5 times B is equal to 4 times 5 times B. Okay. So, number 6 illustrates associative property that if we have AB times C, this is equal to A times the quantity BC. Okay. So, this is associative property. Next, for number 7. We have 36, negative 36 plus 36 is equal to 0. So, this is an inverse property of addition. That is, A plus negative A is equal to 0. So, this is an inverse property of addition. Next, number 8, we have 16 times 2 is equal to 2 times 16. So, number 8 is a commutative property because of if we have AB, this is equal to BA. So, this illustrates Commutative property. Next, number 9, that a times negative 74 is equal to negative 74. It is an identity property because of the concept a times 1, this is equal to a. So this is an identity property. Next, number 10, we have negative 6 times 3 plus 5. This is equal to negative 6 times 3, and then negative 6 plus negative 6 times 5. So it illustrates distributive property that if we have a times b plus c, this is equal to ab plus ac. We will just distribute. Okay, so this is distributive property. So that's all for today about properties of operations on the set of integers. So don't forget to like and then share it with your classmates. Thank you.